Right, so I just want to start this video by saying I do not mind, okay, if Alex Pereira loses. I really, really don't. It is what it is, right? If he loses to the better man on the night, fair enough, okay? Ankalaev did do quite well. However, I am sick to death of the UFC and the judges rewarding fighters for failing takedowns and holding people up against the cage. Now, he didn't do that for the whole fight, okay? But going into rounds 4 and 5, it was 2-1 either way, in my opinion. 2-1 either way, all right? Rounds 4 and 5, what did Ankalaev do? He failed every single takedown that he attempted. By the way, like I said, Alex Pereira would surprise us with his takedown defense, which he did. And I said Ankalaev's not that good of a wrestler. He has 31% takedown accuracy, right? That was proven to me tonight, that Pereira can actually, he has takedown defense, and Ankalaev is not a dangerous wrestler whatsoever. What he does very well is, he fails a takedown, and then he holds Alex up against the cage for a long period of time and just does pitter-patter shots that do no damage. Why is that getting scored, bro? Or why is that getting rewarded? It's so annoying. And I had someone in my chat, Persian Mist, shout out to you, bro, saying, well, that's what Marab did to Aldo. Yeah, and everyone says it was a shit performance. Everyone says that. Mario Batista did it. Shit performance. The women's fight on this card, right? Lemos versus that other fucking Brazilian. Same shit. It was fucking boring and shit. Like, just takedowns, failed, holding up against the cage, doing nothing, no action. Pereira landed more significant strikes, right? He was chewing up that leg like I said he would. He stuffed every single takedown like I said he would. And really what it came down to, and I also said that Ankalaev would have success on the feet, which he did. He rocked Pereira in round 2, I think it was, the end of round 2. Rocked him, nice clean shot. Now look, I'm not saying Ankalaev did nothing right in this fight, because he did. He did a lot right. He had, the front kick was working really well for him. When it was blitzing forward and pressuring Alex, he was doing a really good job, right? That's why I was saying it's you could say 2-1 either way after round 3, but then it's rounds 4 and 5, and it's like Ankalaev just failing takedowns and holding Alex up against the cage. Why are we still rewarding this? Why? How is that damage-based score? It's not damage-based scoring. Like, damage comes first. Who's landing the most significant strikes? When they separate, Pereira was. But Ankalaev, failing takedowns, doesn't really give Alex a chance to do an awful lot because he's just failing takedowns. But there's no damage being done. It's just failing a takedown, holding up against the cage, stalling the fight. Mark Goddard had to separate them at one point. It was getting that bad. And Ankalaev tries a takedown, fails, up against the cage again. Same thing, rinse and repeat. It was the same thing with Mario Batista. He'd fail a takedown on Aldo, hold against the cage, not do an awful lot. They'd separate, again, try for a takedown, fail, hold up against the cage, and separate. Now, if Ankalaev, right, would have taken Alex Pereira down, beat him up on the ground, and actually done some damage, like with his takedowns, in the clinch, then I'd say, all right, you know what, fair enough. Like, I have no qualms, no issues, right? No issues with it whatsoever. But, and there's a but to this, he didn't do any of that. He didn't take him down. He didn't take him down one time. Alex Pereira's takedown defense was 100% in that fight against the supposed best wrestler at light heavyweight. He was gonna wrestle fuck Alex Pereira, this and that. Didn't have the chance to do it, bro. couldn't do it. Couldn't take him down, not one time. Alex Pereira, who has no takedown defense, supposedly. Couldn't do it, not one time. Well, then he gets rewarded by holding up against the cage and stalling the fight. Like, it's just bullshit, man. Let's just say that it was 2-1 to Ank going into rounds 4 and 5. He did the same thing against Jan Blachowicz, bro. Just take it down, lay and pray, just holding, doing nothing to try and get those last 2 rounds. It's so shit. It's like, we reward it, so then they continue to do it over and over again. They continue to try and do it over and over again. Go for a takedown, fail. It's alright. I'll just hold them up against the cage and do nothing. I don't need to do damage as long as I'm hugging him and not letting him do anything. As long as I'm hugging, that's fine. Why are we rewarding this in damage-based scoring sports? It's mind-boggling to me. And I know you might think, oh, you're just solely and coping. Like I said, if Ankalaev actually, like, the rounds that Ankalaev won early on in the fight, I was like, yeah, fucking hell, fair enough. Ankalaev is pressuring forward. He's landing the better shots. He rocked Alex. He did really well in that round. You can go watch the live stream if you don't believe me. I was praising Ankalaev for his good work. But then you've also got to criticize him, right? You have to criticize him where criticism is due. And it's on the failed takedowns and just the holding, constant holding up against the cage. And look, I'll even criticize Alex now, so I'm being fair. Alex looked very hesitant. Very, very, very hesitant. Maybe that's from the pressure that Ankalaev put on in the early rounds. I do think that you could say Pereira was 2-1 up going into the fourth, just based on pure damage. I mean, he was chewing up Ankalaev's leg. Like, fuck it. I think he landed 35 calf kicks at one point, and then landed some more. So it's probably more in like the 40s and 50 range of calf kicks. Right? Was landing nice on Ankalaev, coming in at times with the fucking punches. Right? But he looked very hesitant. Alright? He looked really, really hesitant to actually trade with Ankalaev. And I think if he would have traded more, then he would have got more leeway with the judges. But because he didn't, they've gone to the fucking control. And it's like, what is the control? You're just standing there doing nothing. It's not like you're trying to advance the position or like get a submission or like try and do some damage. You're just holding and weighing down on him. Just leaning on him, doing nothing. Like pitter-patter, just to make it look like you're doing something. You have to get separated, bro. You don't get separated because you're doing good work. You get separated because you're doing fucking nothing. You know what I mean? Like, just wild to me. Or yeah, my video aged poorly that I uploaded on Friday, unfortunately. But you know what? It's a risk you got to take sometimes, and didn't pay off this time. I'll probably never do one ever again. I just want to clarify something, right? And I'll say it again. I'll repeat it for the third time because I know MMA fans can be a bit thick sometimes. You need to repeat points to get it through to them. Let's move this down a bit. If Ankalaev would have like dominated, like beat up, bloodied up Pereira, got some takedowns for a start, that would have been good. Got some takedowns, and then whilst on the floor, try to advance into a submission or try to do some ground and pound, then I'd say, you know what, Pereira, maybe you need to work on your ground game. You need to try and work on these few things before you try and take on Ankalaev again. But that didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And it's just what it's rewarding fighters for not fighting. That's what it is. It's just hugging. It's hugging and holding. And it's just, I just don't like it. I really don't like it. And, well, Merab did it against Aldo, yeah, and we all give Merab shit for. Oh, look, I like Merab. I think his performances against Henry, Sean, and Umar are fucking brilliant. Really, really good because he, pressured them. Pressured them. When he got the takedowns, he did something with it. All right. When he didn't get the takedowns, he still tried to do something with it. All right. But he got the takedowns more often than not anyway. And when he did, he was able to like do whatever he wanted to, like with Henry, picking him up, walking across the ring, plonking him down, taking Sean O'Malley down at will. Right? But the bad performances, like the Aldo fight and the Piotr Jan fight, all right? Yeah, we'll call him out for it. Merab, he did shit in those fights. So you can't use well, Merab did it, yeah, and everyone gives him shit for it. So I don't know what you're saying, bro. Well, like, yeah, I mean, if you know, it's just annoying that like we have these like lay and pray, you know, fighters that do this shit because they know it's gonna get them the decision. Do you think that if they didn't know, that just like holding and doing nothing would get them the victory? Do you think they'd still do it if they knew that wouldn't get them the judges, like the fucking nod from the judges? Would they fuck? They do it because they know it stalls, wastes time, and it wins them rounds by essentially doing, not having to do any damage or anything, just holding them and hugging them. And it's a really shit way to run the sport, and it's a big shame, alright? And like I said, if Ankalaev would have genuinely beat up Alex, like in the rounds that he did, and I praised him for, I wouldn't have an issue with this fight. It's annoying that we reward this type of fighting. Anyway, I'm going to go because my mic's dying. Like, subscribe, links down below. Until next time, I'll see you in a bit.